let's make a thumbnail using GIMP. So here I have the GIMP, and as I know, I'm a full-time content creator, and I only use Linux. So I was going to create a new thumbnail. So and I thought, why don't I just document this and show how it's done? So yeah, I'm not a thumbnail expert. I'm not a GIMP expert or Photoshop expert. But I kind of get around and I can do everything myself. This is how I do it. If you have suggestions, let me know. So file, new. So you can do 1080p, kind of full HP, or can do just HD. You can do full HD or just HD. 720p is also fine. I like to do 1080p. You can do 720p for YouTube. Both formats are fine. Sometimes even 720p is recommended. So, but I like to use 1080p because I can reuse these thumbnails for other purposes. So I just click OK, and I like to start with the black background. Okay, so basically, dark background is kind of the theme of my channel. I have a couple of lighter background thumbnails, white. It's so I either do dark or white, with rare exceptions. It's kind of the trademark of the thumbnails of my channel. I do prefer dark backgrounds and with reds and whites. That's kind of my theme. If you check my channel, you'll see that most of the time it's a black background with white letters or red lettering with some shading of white or red. But that's just my style. You can just develop your own style. This is the one I like. It's a black background. It's my thing. It's my trademark in a way of my channel. It makes things really pleasant to look at in my channel. But again, choose your style and act accordingly, and you should be perfectly a-okay. Next, I'm going to choose a picture. On my channel, I like to have my face of most of my thumbnails. It's kind of my trademark. So I have here a folder full of selfies. This is not the only folder I have. I have more, but these are the most recent ones. For this, I took these 3 pictures just for this purpose. This one, I like it. I'm slightly autofocus, but my hand is in focus. But I could use this one easily. This one I like because I'm fully in focus, but I do prefer this one. This is the one I like my face better. I like the ring light in my eyes. I have a camera with a ring light just for this purpose. It gives a nice punchy look. So I'm going to use this one. And let me put this out of the way. And I'm simply going to drag the picture here. Let's see. Bam. Okay. As you can see, the picture itself, it's much bigger than the thumbnail size. Look, very sharp. This camera still works great. So yeah. The picture size is much larger than 1080p. So that's why it's so big. So I'm going to let me explain. I'm hitting Control and zooming in, zooming out using the mouse wheel. I'm going to zoom out and I'm going to hit Control T for transform. And I'm going to hold the Shift key. The Shift key will maintain the aspect. What I mean by that is, if I just drag, as you can see, it's kind of skewing things. So I want to keep I want to keep the aspect ratio. So I hit the Shift key, and I just drag the corner here. Now use the outer square. If you use the inner one, it's going to skew. It can be useful too. But I'm going to hit the outer square, holding the Shift key, and I'm going to pull things in. And I'm going to hit. If you hit the space bar, you can drag the picture. It's not perfect, so I'm just going to. Looks fine. Hit Enter. This corner is still a little bit jank. I'm going to drag it here. Hit Enter. It's fine. Okay, cool. This is not looking so bad. So Control to zoom, space to drag. Okay. Cool. Now I'm going to cut myself out of the picture. I don't want the background. I'm going to use a tool called Select Tool Foreground Select. The Foreground Select, it's kind of the poor man's quick selection tool in Photoshop. So if you are using Photoshop, you just use the quick selection tool, select subject, and gablamo. It selects for you perfectly. I don't have that luxury here, at least not for now. So I'm going to cut myself out by hand. It's just a little bit time consuming. It's fine. So it's kind of a way to test your patience. Do I have coffee still? I do have coffee. For me, it's a way to test my patience. So I'm going to center the picture. And with the lasso tool, I'm going to cut out myself. In this case, myself and my hand. So at this phase, you don't have to be perfect, but the better you do it now, it's going to make your life a little bit easier down the line. But you still have a couple of chances to fix things. There we go. I'm going to cut myself out of here. I have huge eyebrows, man. Every time I do this, I see, oh my God, you have a cat above your eyes. You're good. You don't have to be perfect at this point to still have a couple of chances to fix. So I missed my finger there. It's fine. And now I go here and I just joined the dots there. Cool. I hit the enter key. And I have things kind of highlighted in green. You can select another color there, but I like green. Now I'm going to use the foreground and background buttons. And using the foreground, I'm going to trace out again myself and my hands or whatever I want to keep. Again, you don't have to be perfect at this stage yet. But again, the better you do here, the better you can do it. You can be later. So I'm going to trace myself out as best as I can, knowing that I still have a couple of chances to fix. Of course, my nose itches at the worst times. You still have a couple of chances to fix some quirks, but I'm going to trace myself out as best as I can. There we go. My hand here. I'm going to trace my hand, not my finger now. I'm going to trace it out. There we go. Now I'm going to go here. And now I'm going to, you can release the mouse. You can release if you want the mouse, it's fine. And then continue. And now I'm going to mark myself to say GIMP. Okay, this is the part I'm interested in. You don't have to paint everything out, just enough for GIMP to understand. Things are okay. Now I'm going to, there are a few traces that I missed. So I'm going to draw the background and I'm going to tell GIMP, listen, this is the background, get rid of it. And you still have one chance, a couple of chances more to fix what you miss. I'm going to be as the best as I can. I'm not going to be perfect because this is, or else the video will just get too long, right? So it's looking decent. Let's make this. There's some background here. If your background is, in this case, I would recommend to have a very contrasty background. So if I add some light to my background, maybe it will make things a little bit easier. Not maybe, I know it will make things a little bit easier, but I digress. Let's cut this out here. Okay, it's not perfect, but it's good enough for this face. Now I'm going to hit the select key here. Select. It's going to trace me out. Okay, so now I'm going here to the bottom right, select this thing that is called the mask. I'm going to click the mask. I'm going to select selection, add, cool. I can see here this layer has the kind of the trace out. I'm going to hit right click, apply layer masks, kablamo. So this is the background, cool. Now select none, okay? So let's remove the background for now. It will make things a little, kind of the spots I missed a little bit more obvious. Now I can hit the eraser, make it as smooth as you wish. Hardness, in my case, it's the brush 2, half 50 hardness. And I can just delete things that that may be bothering me. I can just go ahead and delete. Since my finger is so white and the background is so dark, it makes things easier to see. And again, you can be as perfect as you wish at this phase. I'm not going to be too perfect, so this video does not go way too long. It's already 10 minutes long. We can fast forward or put it 2 times speed. Okay, so I have it. My here has some backgrounds. There we go. Cool. Looks good. It's looking actually pretty decent. Now I'm going to enable the background. It's very nice actually, better than I usually do.
Now I'm going back to some or my already done thumbnails, and I'm gonna. Well, I mean, why don't I use the very last one because I really like it? And I'm going to drag it here, and I'm going to resize it so that, oops, hold the shift key so that my finger is actually pointing at it. And I'm going to okay, it's fine now. For now, I'm going to drag it here so that my finger is over it. Now again, I can just, yeah, I like it a lot. It's looking really nice. So if you want to add text, okay, you just hit the A key here and say GIMP. As you can see, it's under, so I'm going to drag it over, and you can just GIMP is cool, something around those lines. I can actually keep it, and I can just Shift T for transform, and I can just place it here. I'm going to actually keep this in the thumbnail. And if you're watching this video, see this. This is the thumbnail I'm going to use it. It's actually nice. And now I just like to select, nothing selected, which is nice. Now I don't like this cutout in above, so I'm going to redo this like this. Much better, cool. Now again, this is just you decide what you want. This is just, I mean, this is very, how to say it? It's very relative to your style, so it's very subjective. Now I'm going to add an outline to me, so I kind of pop. So I'm going to select the layer where my recent selection was done. Now filters, light and shadow, drop shadow. Okay, I'm going to select the white color. It's already looking pretty nice. I'm going to kind of reposition my shadow here. Now it's actually nice. I can increase the glow radius to make it a little more obvious. I can keep it like this, or I can just make it solid. I'm going to, okay, in this case, it will depends. I mean, I'm going to make it solid. Okay, cool. Now I'm going to shape it here, and I can make it bigger, smaller, make it more opaque, 100% opacity. I'm going to increase it a little bit, and it's nice. Now, as you can see, the lettering, it's kind of blending with myself. So I'm going to go here and do the same thing, light and shadow, drop shadow. I'm going to keep the black and white thing here, blur, radius none, full opacity. White, it's not looking good white, so I'm just going black, so that when it's over me, it's nice and contrasty. When it's alone, it's quite enough. So I'm going to make it like this. As you can see, when it's over me, it's very contrasty. But again, you choose what is best for you. And I mean, it's done. Okay, it's done. Now I just need to export this as a JPEG. So I'm going to hit File. Right click on the image, File, Export as. This is kind of my thumbnail dump folder. I'm going over here. I'm going to show this on my thumbnail -gimp.jpg. So you don't have to change the file extension here. Just type .jpg and it's going to export as a JPG. And I usually accept the default. They are good enough for most. It's already here in my thumbnail dump folder. There we go. This is my thumbnail for this video. That's where I showed you how to create a thumbnail using GIMP. Okay, it's looking quite nice. I could rework some of this because I use the eraser. I could rework some of that, but since most people just kind of look at this mostly on the phone, or even if they're in the PC, the thumbnail is going to be kind of shrink down.
I mean, it depends on how perfect you want things to do. This is a very catchy thumbnail. I'm really happy with it, actually really happy, even though I was doing this while talking to you guys. It works really nice. It's perfect. I mean, the more perfect you do your cutout at the beginning, better it will look. For me, it's plenty nice. I'm not going to redo anything from here. I'm going to use this thumbnail so it kind of tags along with the video itself. And this is how I do my thumbnail work using GIMP. Let me know in the comments below if you have any suggestions, tips for any other people that may be watching this that may improve my workflow or even someone else's workflow. Like, subscribe, hype, and comment, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers, guys.